This is a piece of a poem. It's a work in progress. It's called Family Matters. My sister is the matriarch of my family, and if you don't know what that means, you best ask somebody and find out what it is before you meet my sister. You might want to inquire about etiquette too. She tries to talk to me. I think it has something to do with the fact that while our family is small, whenever she cooks for an army, and there are always leftovers left over. And you can always go there and eat. She is my raisin in the sun. I believe that she has an obsession with raising. She is into raising. She has raised her own children. She had something to do with the raising of my other sister. She raised her daughter's daughter. She is raising her daughter's son. She has spent decades with me. She raises us until she can't raise up. And she has been so strong for so long that I cannot tell her that she is older now and not as strong. She has been so reliable that she cannot accept her own failures. She is infused with pride, sometimes too much. The woman is impossible to deal with, but I cannot imagine life without her. So I am upset with her, mostly for selfish reasons, because I am not yet strong enough and I have not been right long enough. My sister got sick today. Thank you.
One of Toledo's finest, Gary Bond.
Wow. I believe this is yours.
Oh, what is it? Oh, yeah.
And with that, I will make one announcement before I go into this. February 14th, I am actually having a book launch party at the Ottawa Tavern from 8 p.m. to midnight. There'll be several bands there, as well as myself, so if anyone wants to check that out. What's that? 14th. Valentine's Day. Okay, and with that, we have no one else on the list, but a lot of people came in afterward. If people would just come sign up, and we will just keep going from there.
Yeah!
Sweet.
Shut up, you bastards. Read some.
That's what that is.
Okay, and with that, we can keep going. And the next person on our list is Matthew.
I like your Snuggie.
It's a poncho. All right. Gonna attempt to finish my story.
We got original.
So I'm gonna try to recap what just happened. First, I'm gonna have to establish my character first because otherwise it just doesn't make sense altogether. My character's name is Brody Aaron, and he is a detective in Detroit. There was a case where a man was cut up in many different pieces, not in pieces, but cut up all over his body. Brody also happened to be scarred in the exact same way, which led him to believe that the person who gave him the scars, which also was part of the process of transforming him into an immortal being, had something to do with the murder. He went to Rikers Island in New York, found out that the man that made him immortal, Morwin, was still in jail. He didn't know who it could have been that did the murder. And so he's about to leave Detroit, or leave New York to Detroit. Brody's trip back to Detroit was postponed in Cleveland when his buggy received a flat tire. He parked it on the curb to examine the tire. He hopped out of the buggy and found a knife in his back left tire. Before he realized what happened, he was rendered unconscious by an unseen assailant. Brody awoke to the sound of molten metal ore being processed. The first thing he noticed as he tried to stretch his arms was that he was bound in rope. Secondly, he realized that he was upside down and his hat was on the ground. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to reread my shit. Thirdly, he noticed a large, bald man who had symmetrical scars all over his body, just like Brody. Though he was like Brody, the man was much larger and had a strange device covering both of his ears and two cylinders on his biceps. The man noticed Brody struggling to get free and smiled while he said, "It's about time you woke up." "Hey, I recognize you. You're that Russian that Morwen worked on. I think your name was Emil." "Bingo. And I'm sure you know that I'm just like you, but better." "How so?" "First off, I'm a skilled warrior. War would also improve on the designs of these strength enhancers," he said as he pointed to the two cylinders on his biceps. So you wanted to make a group for people who became Morwen's experiments?" "No, I came here to kill you, so I would be the only immortal on Earth." "That's a stupid plan, and I know from experience," Brody said as he thought of one of his favorite endeavors. "Was it a stupid plan to kill all those people and make it look like Morwen experimented on him, so that you would show me where Morwen was hidden so that I could free him?" "No, but it wasn't stupid for you to tell me that." "It's not stupid if I'm going to kill you." "How are you going to kill me? I'm immortal." "No, we are designed to be immortal. I'm going to find a way to kill you." "So that's why you brought me to this processing plant? You want to see if I can melt." "You're much smarter than you pretend to be, Brody," Emil said as he pushed a button that activated a device that moved Brody closer to the vat of molten metal. Before the crane could reach the vat, Brody managed to escape. He thought that the Russian wasn't as smart as he bragged because he neglected to take Brody's weapons. The Russian charged towards him with a knife in each hand. Brody pulled out his revolver, but before he could fire it, he was attacked by Emil, who thrust his knives at him. Brody took out his own knife and intended to slash his opponent. It was evident that Emil was a much better fighter, but his attacks were still ineffective. Though the knives weren't hurting Brody, his coat was still tattered from them. Brody jumped back and shot at Emil. The bullet sped towards him and dented his forearm, and then bounced off nonchalantly. Brody took another shot. This time, he hit the cylinder on his right arm. This made Emil move his arm towards his bicep to assure himself that everything was in working order, which gave Brody an idea. He shot again at the same cylinder. He kept shooting as he walked backwards. The bullets either missed or did nothing. Brody noticed this and tossed his gun and grabbed for the crowbar that was nearby. He dodged Emil's swing at him and jumped onto his back. He positioned the crowbar between the cylinder and the arm and pried away. Emil tried to swat Brody off his shoulders, but he was unable to hit such a spry and nimble man. Brody's efforts paid off as the cylinder popped off and a strange concoction spewed from the opening in Emil's arm. Brody jumped off to take a look at his handiwork. Emil's arm began to decrease in size, which was a surprise to Emil that it did not attack Brody. Which was such a surprise to Emil that he did not attack Brody. I suck at reading, if you haven't noticed yet.
You're fine.
Yeah, we have low standards, apparently. He looked in horror at what Morwen's chemicals did to his musculature. Brody took advantage of this and grabbed Emil by the arm and threw him into the nearest vat. His body did not melt, which made Brody sad because he was planning on attempting it so that he could finally go meet his wife and daughter in the afterlife. His body did not melt. Liquid metal began to fill the opening in his body. It was a matter of scream-filled minutes before Emil finally died. Brody left the oral processing plant to press it, that once more he failed to die, so he could lay his eyes upon his lovely wife and daughter. "Well, that's that," Brody stated with a lack of happiness or despair, as he pulled his full face mask up to reveal his mouth and placed a piece of nicotine gum inside and chewed away. Brody hopped into his green buggy and drove away from the refinery towards Detroit with thoughts of perhaps trying to change for the better and perhaps becoming an actual hero. You know what? I just realized when I read this that the buggy still has a flat tire. All right, thanks.